There was something inhuman about it. The callous discussion of body parts from an aborted fetus. Talk of crushing from above and crushing from below to preserve a baby's organs for sale. Oh, that touched a nerve. That made a lot of us think about what kind of society we have become. The idea that all human life is flat out sacred is now rarely mentioned. The secular humanists don't believe it. A fetus is a blob, they've told us so many times. Do with it what you will. First came ultrasound, however. You can see the blob moving, kicking tiny legs and waving tiny arms. You can even see a face and see the beating heart. Anyone who's seen modern ultrasound cannot dismiss that growing child as an organ farm. And then came these videos. People haggling over lungs and liver tissue as they order their salad and sip their wine. No matter what your politics are, you can't walk away from that. You can't turn your back and have no opinion. And Planned Parenthood can't hide behind their pathetic apology for the tone their officials used. No, it's time to confront the callous indifference to human life itself. I don't want a dime of my taxpayer money going to support industrialized body part farming.
The mechanics of it was that Heather, a Neurogenics person, would come to the site and our staff would sign the patients up and get consent, and then Heather would look at the tissue and take what she required. So it was logistically very easy for us. We didn't have to do anything. So it was compensation for this.
You've seen it before. There it was again, the video from Planned Parenthood talking about the selling of parts of an aborted fetus. A disturbing story. For more, by Father Jonathan Morris. Father, welcome back to the program.
It's a tough one, tough to watch because it's so tragic, not only what they're doing, Planned Parenthood, but also the actual fact of abortion.
It was just fundamentally inhuman to see someone discussing chopping up a child and distributing the parts whilst they're eating a salad and sipping wine. I just find that appalling, flat out appalling.
And these are top executives of Planned Parenthood. These are not just, rogue members of Planned Parenthood. And I think, especially on the Business Channel, something to bring up is Planned Parenthood is getting $500 million of taxpayer money. $500 million.
A year.
A year.
Right. Okay. Now, look, I want to know if this is going to shift public opinion, not public opinion on the abortion debate, because I don't think this is about abortion. I think this is about the sanctity of human life. Do you think public opinion starts to shift on that issue, that human life is sacred? Does it shift?
I think technology has allowed us to see exactly what we're doing. As you've mentioned, and we've talked about before, that the ultrasound technology. I had a woman in my parish just last week who was in an argument with her boyfriend. She's a single mom now, to be, and she sent me a text on my phone of her ultrasound. And she said, why is it that the father of my child can't understand, and he's asking me to have this abortion? So in other words, sometimes selfish purposes can trump even the obvious. And to your point, therefore we don't respect the sacredness of life.
Well, that's modern life, isn't it? There's something about this part of our history where we've abandoned the idea that all human life is absolutely sacred and that we don't submit it to some kind of industrial process of selling the parts. I'm looking for a shift. I'm looking for a shift back to the way it used to be. I'm not a reactionary, but I'd like to see us go back and take another look at the way we look at human life.
I don't think we're getting there.
Really?
I think we're getting to the point in which people of conscience can say, this is human life, we can't do this. But I don't think we're moving as a society towards a respect for the sacredness. Sacred has to do with the divine. It has to do with eternity.
Precisely. We've banished that from the public square.
Are we moving in that direction? No.
We're not.
We're not.
You're a pessimist.
I'm not. But you know what? I think that there are ebbs and flows. I think we go through tough times as people. And we come out ahead sometimes. Right now, I think we're a little bit on a downside, so to speak, in terms of respect for the sacred, as you mentioned. It doesn't mean that I think we're going to hell in a handbasket. I think there can be good times and bad times. And I think eventually we're going to have to say, if we're going to survive, we also have to respect, and we have to respect the sacred.
You deal with this every day, don't you?
I do.
Every single day of your life.
About an hour and a half ago, and it's not just abortion. An hour and a half ago, I was pulling a guy off the stoop of my church who got in a fight with another homeless man, and they're sleeping on my church in the South Bronx. That's also the type of, those are real questions that we have to deal with as a society, taking care of the poor. And taking care of the mothers who are in these situations, who are going off to have these abortions.
What's your message? What do you say?
Defund Planned Parenthood to start. Defund. How can we give $500 million to an organization who's doing this? And we need politicians to stand up on both, not just the Republican side, but then Democratic side, and say, this is inhuman. This is disgusting.
All right. Thank you very much, Father Jonathan. I hope on this particular issue, because it's of vital importance to us all and to America, and we thank you. Yes, sir. All right, listen to what Carly Fiorina, obviously a Republican candidate for the